I lost a bet to Quatchi. Let's get this over with. The Bye Bye Man is a horror movie that was released earlier in 2017 in January. It came out about a week or two before Split, and I'm glad for that because I was able to watch Split and get the horrible taste of the Bye Bye Man out of me. It's just the basic premise is a supernatural killer kills you if you think his name or say his name. It's as stupid as it sounds. Let's just get this over with, shall we? God damn, I can't believe I lost that bet. Alright, so the film starts off in 1969. A reporter shows up to a house, asks the woman who answered the door if she told anyone about the story he told her. She said, yeah, she told them to the people like at the house across there. Goes back to his car, gets a shotgun, goes into the house, shoots everyone in there. Okay, maybe this is better than I thought. So he begins walking over towards the other house she pointed out while repeating, don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it. Goes into that house, kills everyone there. I'm just like, okay, maybe this could go somewhere, but then it cuts back to modern day. Modern day, oh my god. But can we go back to 1969? What the hell happened there? But I guess we're stuck in modern day for the majority of this movie. So let's get to it. So we are focused on a group of college kids. Main character Elliot, his girlfriend Sasha, and their friend John. I think he's African American. Yeah, he is. He is. They move into a house that's off campus, and they begin to settle in, move stuff around. But then they begin to notice that there are certain mysterious things happening. Let's see, what's the first one? Oh yeah, Sasha gets a little sick, mainly with a cough. I don't really know how that's mysterious. You just get coughs. I mean, that's not a supernatural thing. But Elliot begins finding coins in his nightstand beside his bed, and he sees that there's a bunch of writing on it. It says, "Don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it," written all over it, and begins to peel back a little bit, and then once he peels back some of the stuff, he reveals the Bye Bye Man. Why would you put that down in nightstand? It says, "Don't think it, don't say it." Why would you even put any of that writing down in the first place? Oh, whatever. I don't care. And so there's this party that happens at the house, or like warming a housewarming party or something, doing college stuff. Elliot's older brother, what's his name? Goddamn, sorry, I gotta remember this guy's name. Um, oh yeah, Virgil. Is that really his name, Virgil? What kind of name is Virgil? I Virgil? Odd name, but like I said, I don't care. So Elliot's older brother Virgil comes by during this party, just wants to make sure how everything's going and such. He also brought his daughter, Elliot's niece, with him. Like, why would you bring her to a college party? You should know what happens at college parties. Why don't you make decisions correctly? Well, the uh, does she even have a name? I Hold on, I need to know this name. I think it's Alice. That's the only name that really makes sense. Alice? Yeah, Alice. That's Elliot's niece's name, Alice. She ends up going upstairs to the empty room of Elliot and Sasha, and she discovers a stand with a little coin thing. And while she's just playing with that, I suppose a supernatural skinless dog. Oh my god, that that is CGI. That is some obvious CGI. I mean, I know you didn't have that big of a budget, but why? couldn't you use a regular, real dog? I mean, it would probably add to the supernatural if you had a real Rottweiler or something in the movie, but then just have it disappear and reappear at will. I mean, that would have been so much more effective than the crappy CGI skinless dog. Why? Why didn't you just go with the real dog? Why don't you know how to use effects properly, movie? Oh my god. Alright, well, ever since the party, Stranger Things begin to happen. Stranger Things. Can't wait for that show to come back on. Anyway, they have a friend named Kim. Is it Kim? Yeah, Kim. She's sort of like a psychic kind person that sort of helps them figure out if there's some sort of demonic spirit or something in the house, which apparently there might be. And I guess later on, John ends up sleeping with her. I suppose. Yeah, I think that's what happens. I really don't know. They're probably only there just to get killed. And so, of course, Sasha becomes more sick, and Ellie and John just begin hallucinating other stuff. Elliot mainly hallucinating about how he thinks Sasha and John are how Sasha's cheating on Elliot with John. Of course, that's not actually happening, but they both are getting pretty crazy towards each other. And Virgil, of course, back again, trying to figure out if everything is okay. No, something's obviously not wrong. Come on, talk to him. Communicate. Use your characters. I can't believe this movie came out in the same year as the It 2017 movie. That one had character development. This one has none of that. Just cliches and stereotypes. Alright. So, of course, while Sasha's sick at home, Ellie goes to the library on campus, try to figure out anything about this Bye Bye Man crap, and through a very surprisingly expositional filled librarian, they discover there was some sort of kid back in the 60s who murdered his entire family, and when he was questioned, he said the Bye Bye Man made him do it. And it's a really weird exposition scene between the librarian and Elliot that just makes no sense. How do you know it? How can you assume any of this information if you don't know anything besides the article that you just read? Well, I do not care. But later on, we see that Kim, the psychic friend, ends up getting killed by a train. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one of the hallucinations and such that keeps popping up is that a naked Elliot, John, and Sasha end up naked in front of a train at night. A sort of really weird hallucination. And one thing that really happens a lot is that we get a lot of appearances from this dog, this skinless, crappy CGI dog, and a lot of train stuff and a lot of coins. And it's not explained, and it frustrates me to hell. Ugh. Well, anyway, as I said, Kim taking over while she's driving, and she gets hit by a train in her car. And so Elliot is taken in for questioning by a detective named Shaw, a woman, and I guess somehow Bobby Man comes up. Probably in an inorganic way. So again, the motto of this review: I don't care. But I feel that there's a suicide note that says she killed her roommate and was planning on killing all three of them. So I guess he's off the hook. You don't want to question him about any suicidal tendencies. I mean, why? Alright. So, remember the article about the kid who killed his family? Well, the reporter that made that article in the 60s is apparently the same guy we saw at the beginning of the movie in the 69 flashback, where he killed those families because he did some research after that, and what he found like really convinced him this was real, which it ends up being, I guess, and he actually tells them people before he realizes that, so he has to kill them because the Bye Bye Man should not come back. But during this research into the reporter, Alia goes to reporter's widowed wife who lives by herself, and she pretty much says like she doesn't really know what exactly her husband discovered, but what she does know is that there's some sort of curse caused by the Bye Bye Man, of course, where thinking his name, saying his name causes insanity, hallucinations, and of course death, obviously. And apparently, some of the signs of his coming are suddenly appearing coins, the crappy CGI skinless dog, and train stuff. Why? Why? You are explaining nothing, movie. Okay, first of all, okay. You know how there are some killers where if you don't really explain exactly why they're doing it, that makes them scarier, like with Michael Myers from Halloween? That worked because all we were told is that he's a guy that no longer understands the rudimentary differences between life and death, no sense of right and wrong, just pure evil. That worked for him. We know nothing about this Bye Bye Man guy. I mean, is he just has he always been a supernatural being? Was he a man who died before becoming the Bye Bye Man? And if he was, then what's the deal with the dog? Did he have a dog when he was alive that got killed at the same time he did? Was he run over by a train? Because that's what it seems like. But what's with the freaking coins? This movie answers nothing that would have helped this make a better movie. Oh my god. Ah. Of course, the only way to stop it is to not think his name. Don't say his name, which is should be freaking obvious by now. And but apparently on Elliot's way home back to the house, try to help Sasha and John, he runs over the librarian with his car, and but that's okay because apparently the librarian killed everyone in her family back at home, and she was coming for Elliot anyway. What a coincidence! So Sasha and John back at the house are suffering from hallucinations, and when Ellie comes in, he finds that John is actually stabbing Sasha to death, and apparently Elliot has a gun now. He just freaking shoots John, and but apparently in a strange twist, it wasn't John that was stabbing Sasha. It was Sasha that was stabbing John, and Ellie took the gun to shoot and kill Sasha. Wait, do I have that right? Why did you do that? Why? Why did you need a fake out that showed John was killing Sasha when it was really Sasha killing John? I mean, why did you do something weird like that? Wasn't it just enough to just have it be as it is? I don't understand why we needed to have that fake out there. Because we end up getting the same results anyway. And so Elliot is in his room freaking out, and this is where he sees the Bye Bye Man. And I'm neutral in his appearance, I suppose. Like, I think it's mostly practical effects, which is strange because the dog CGI. But I'm neutral about it, I guess. He pretty much straight up asks, "What the hell do you want while you're doing this?" And all he does is just show Elliot a vision about how he's going to do the same thing to his brother and his niece. And he's like, "That's not going to happen." And so he freaking shoots himself in the head. And so Virgil and Alice come to the house and see the whole mess, report the police, and the house goes up in fire because why the hell not? And so while going back home, Alice tells her dad that She found some coins from a nightstand that was behind the house that they threw out, and there's some writing on the nightstand. But apparently, she couldn't actually read it because of night vision. So I don't understand why we need the fake out again. And so Detective Shaw arrives on the scene, and apparently John is alive, still alive. Like, why? Why are you still alive? And he whispers the bye bye man, and of course, that starts the curse all over again. So, way to go, John. I will say this: I did not expect the African American guy to actually make it to the end. That's all. That's the only good thing I've got to say about that. I mean, my God, this movie is so stupid. It doesn't bother to actually explain itself in ways that will help the movie. It's just one stupid generic horror movie. The only thing not negative I can say is that hopefully they do sort of a Ouija thing where even though the first Ouija movie was bad, the next installment, which was a prequel, is actually surprisingly good. I kind of hope that happens with this, where we actually get a prequel of the Bye Bye Man in the 1960s, because that was probably the best part of this movie, those flashbacks to the 60s. But other than that, this is just one big pile of shit. Well, that's pretty much all I have. Dr. Cinema, like, comment, subscribe, share. See you next time.